Take a walk down by the sea, picking up colored shells in the sand.
So far, I haven't seen anything less than 8 feet under the keel, so I'm quite happy about that. I still got a ways to go though. So we're going to be coming up onto the yellow bank, which can get kind of shallow, and there is some rocks in there that apparently you need to avoid because we have a deep draft. So yeah. Another 3 hours and we'll be in Exumas. Highborn Cay in Exumas. Got the boat anchored out over there. It is a private island, but we decided to come in and hang out on the beach anyways for a little while. What kind of sharks are these? Nurse sharks. Highborn Cay actually has a cell tower on their island, so that's wonderful for LTE and data speeds. So it's awesome. They got a little floating dinghy dock, which is great, and there's quite a few slips in here. I'm not sure what the price per foot is, but it looks like it's well maintained. So we're over on South Allen's Key, where the iguanas are. Little ankle biters. Uh-oh. He's coming towards me.
Be careful, there's
I got nothing for you, dude. Nothing whatsoever. Well, today we're going to head south a little bit. There's other islands, cays that we can explore. It's been rolly here for the last 2 days. Last night it wasn't too bad, it actually quietened down a bit, but it's the waves picked up again. So there must be some southwesterly that I wasn't expecting. It was supposed to actually be from the east, the winds, and that would have been perfect because you know, you've got all the chain of the Exumas that are protecting you from the wind and the waves. Not necessarily the wind, but at least the waves. But that's not the case. So we're gonna head south and hopefully get behind something, find an anchorage somewhere. Can get kind of uncomfortable. Raise the sails today because we're going to a short distance and I need to charge the batteries anyways. I made water this morning and ran the water maker for 2.5 hours, so that means the generator was primarily focused on that. I do have a way to split the load and charge the batteries a little bit, but the most I was getting out of the charger was about anywhere from 10 to 17 amps. Typically, if I'm just charging the batteries, I can get up to almost 80 amps, so which is quite impressive. But no, making some water was the main priority because we drained one tank in about 2 or 3 days. So that's, I think it's 90. The front tank is 90 gallons. So yeah, we drained that. Tried dinghying up the north channel of Shroud Cay, or I don't know if you call it a north channel, but it's a little river, I guess you would say. But in some places it's just so shallow, the prop is getting stuck in the sand, so that's not good on the engine. I tried tilting up the prop a little bit, but still it's so shallow. So I think I'll just turn around. There's no point. Apparently, the best way to get up here is through is via sea kayak or some kind of paddle board, or I don't have any of that. So maybe I'm gonna see if there's maybe a trail I can follow. have any weather because I couldn't get internet on the last anchorage. I guess maybe because it's a park and they didn't want any towers on the park, so that makes sense. But I even tried to get Chris Parker on single sideband, but I could not pick him up. I need a better external antenna for my receiver. I don't have a full radio, like, you know, a high-end radio. It's just one of these portable things. And typically you would be able to get Chris Parker, but for whatever reason, it was not coming through. But in any case, we did want to get out of that anchorage and get over to something more protected and something that maybe had a restaurant. So Maite was kind of craving some conch fritters or maybe some fried conch and some french fries. That sounds good to me because we haven't had anything like that in quite a while. And yeah, it's been a long slog. We've been on pointing into the wind. We're on a motor sail, and we're actually making anywhere from 6 to 7 knots. But boy, is it rough! And the waves are 3 or 4 feet high in 3-second intervals, so very rough. Let's pick them up.
It's really not good to be holding them.
Well, another pig island, just west of, or northwest of Staniel Key. I got a lot of little babies here. Hello. Oh, this is a cute one, this little black and white one.
They all come underneath and they take their rest.
Yeah.
And they flop on the rock. Come here, I'll touch it. Come here. Come here.
You gonna pick them up? Okay, hon. That's Staniel Key. Just taking a look at the docks, and there's a bunch of nurse sharks down there. Oh yeah. They might nibble on you. Just taste, just a little taste. So a couple of months ago, I tore my head board off the head of the sail, that repaired. He kind of shortened the head a little bit, which is not really much of a problem because I had some, it was a bit too long. So he just made a simple repair. He took the headboard off and just brought it down a little bit. And, you know, he put some extra material in there. But after my last sail, I noticed a bit of daylight coming out of this area right here. So I was wondering what the heck is going on there. Did I tighten up the halyard too much? Well, it turns out the way that these sliders are spaced, you see they're spaced roughly there, the sail tends to fold right here. And guess what? Folding that sail over and over and over again, probably in this direction, it's now weakened these fibers, and that's a problem. It's such a problem that I don't trust this in some big seas and big winds. So luckily I have an old jib that's in actually really pristine condition that I can use to patch that up. So we've had lunch and now we're heading back to the boat. I'm gonna get some fuel. Tried to go to this restaurant, the Purple restaurant, but we arrived there too late, 12:30, and they had no food left. So then we went to the kind of oranges building, and yeah, they had some fish and rice, so we did that. And if you're gonna come here at lunchtime, apparently you should call in. So I can't remember the name of this restaurant, but you gotta call in early and tell them what you want, and they will take your order. So
Think of getting salt.
yeah, our dinghy's a little bit small. It's an inflatable floor, so you do get splashed a little bit. So that's a drawback with the Saturn. Even with the planing boards that keep the nose down, we can barely make it up on plane when it gets really rough. If it's smooth, like it is right here, we can get up on plane. Probably do 8 or 10 knots, but it's nice to have a bigger dinghy to increase your range. So I've been over at Staniel Key Thunderball Grotto for a couple of days, anchored just southwest of it, and there's a lot of charter boats coming in with, you know, people who want to do their snorkeling around the cave, which is fine, awesome. However, those boats just fly in at full throttle. They get about 200 feet away from it and then they drop the throttle, so basically creating some huge wake, and it's very uncomfortable for anybody anchored around here. They just have no concern for the people anchored around here. Now there's a couple of boats coming in here, but these are very light boats, so they're not going to create much wake. But it's these huge, you know, 20 and 30 footers with you know, 3 or 4 engines on the back, and when they come in, they just fly in and then drop their throttle, and then when it's time to leave, they just blast off right where they started, and passengers are having a great time, of course, but anybody who's anchored around here is just rocking and rolling. It's crazy. They just have no concern. Yeah. The marina office right there, and then they got the yacht club restaurant in over there. Nice little setup. And then over there is some other restaurants, but it's hit and miss. Like if you don't order your food prior to your lunch, you're not gonna have any food. So you have to call like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning if you're going to be going to one of those restaurants over there, and then you show up at lunchtime and it's like a herd of elephants going in there to pick up the food. Well, today I'm headed to Georgetown. I'm traveling with Buddy Boat Island Hopper, and there's about 15-20 knots of wind today. Seas are 4 to 5 feet. The period isn't too bad, but the boat is heeled over pretty good. And well, the autopilot seems to be keeping up pretty good. Got a little bit of a back problem. Hopefully it gets stabilized once I get to Georgetown. I need to get on land and start doing some walking. I used to do a lot of walking like every night, at least 20 minutes, and also walking around work or whatever, to and from the car. But when you're on a boat, you just don't get the exercise, and my hips need that exercise, and it also the muscles get relaxed a little bit when you're doing a bit of walking. And so what's happening is my muscles are getting so tightened up. I tried stretching it out today, but sometimes when you stretch it out, you kind of make things worse. So, and I think that's what I did, because I'm in rough shape. So I'm just hobbling into Georgetown right now. So I had to take 2 more Advil, and I applied some Voltaren onto my lower back, hoping that that will alleviate some of the pain. At this point I can hardly walk. I think what happened was I started doing some stretching to try and loosen up my back, and my back didn't like that. I just really, I guess I must have overstretched it. So it doesn't, I'm in so much pain. Like I said, I can hardly walk, can hardly get up. So we've got about 20 knots of wind, rough seas. It's going to be around noon by the time I get to Georgetown. Luckily I have some soft cushions, so I got myself, I'm going to get myself strapped in again and just lay in the cushions, and hopefully the Advil and Voltaren can allow me to get the sails down, throw anchor down, and get some rest. But I have been getting a lot of rest. That's puzzling. I just decided to rest up before traveling, and for whatever reason, it's not alleviating the back pain. Yeah, I got some pretty good waves today. When you get 20 knots of wind or 25 knots of wind on the east side of the Exumas, you should expect some waves. And definitely got it today. Actually, the waves are up to 7 or 8 feet in some cases. I don't think I've ever sailed this boat this hard before. The wind was supposed to be on the beam, 15 knots, maybe gusting up to 25. But now I am pointing into the wind almost, and pretty good waves, probably 4-foot waves, 3 to 4, and it's probably 20 knots now. But it hasn't actually reduced my speed, so I'm still doing over 7, so that's fine. I should get to Georgetown at 12:30. Right now it's coming off anywhere between 30 and 40 degrees from port, and we got about 19 knots of wind. Apparent. I don't know what the true wind is, but I'm just going by apparent wind right now. And believe it or not, we're doing 8 knots. So I'm very happy with that speed. I mean, of course, we're rocking and rolling and bouncing over the waves, but that's quite impressive. I got one reef, and I got the jib rolled in a little bit. one thing I noticed about Georgetown, if you're trying to walk around, there's not any sidewalks and it can be very dangerous just trying to walk. I wouldn't attempt to bicycle, that's for sure. Just walking around, not this road's not too bad, but if you go up about a mile ahead, the road is narrow and there's about 12 inches of gravel on each side, and you got to be watching because those cars are just flying. So this is the bridge. It goes down here and then across the road you got the dinghy dock, so you can get water there. I'm not sure if they charge for the water, but there's the dinghy dock over there.
Take a walk down by the sea.